What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I am joined by Killjoy Jake, and I'm very, very happy to have him here. You guys may know him. He does a ton of not just Scream stuff, but many other movie, just general discussions on his channel. Phenomenal guy. I seeked him out. I wanted to have him on this channel. I wanted to do a collaboration with him. I know some of you guys, have watched him or Critical Overlord or stuff like that, so before, we get too far in the video, the promotional start to get out of the way, make sure you guys are supporting him. I'll leave all his stuff in the description and the pinned comment. I'm actually going to be on a video on his channel, depending on, which of these videos goes up first. Maybe mine, maybe his. So thank you so much for being on this video with me.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So, we both talked about a lot of stuff Scream. I'm sure if we combine topics, we've probably talked about maybe everything there is to talk about. But one of the things I was thinking of, we talked about the quote-unquote insider that watched the movie, potentially watched the movie. And whether you want to believe that or not, that's completely up to you. But it got me thinking, one of these topics I like to do with certain games is, are our expectations too high? Are we expecting too much? So I felt that this would be a good idea to kind of talk about what I want from the movie, what I expect from the movie, what Jake, wants and expects, and then if that maybe is asking too much, and really, who's to deem it, right? Honestly, we're all individuals. We can all think how we want, but sometimes, you put your expectations too high, or you set them through the roof, and if the movie doesn't deliver, or the game doesn't deliver, or whatever, obviously it can be quite a blow. So, Jake, again, kind of a two-part question, but what are you expecting from this movie, okay, in terms of quality, in terms of maybe big things you want to happen, small things, and then do you think me, do you think the audience in general, do you think maybe we're putting our expectations too high? Because I don't think it's unfair to say people are expecting quite a bit with this movie.
I'm expecting good things. I don't think I'm expecting as crazy of things as some people are. Like, I love talking about, like, the possibilities of, like Randy coming back to life, or like Kirby coming back into this, or especially like the craziest ones are like Billy and Stu somehow coming back to life. I don't know if any of that's going to happen. I do know that what we are going to get is something very fun and very exciting for longtime fans, and it'll be something that brings in a bunch of new viewers as well. The one thing I'm really expecting from this film is that they don't fall into the same plot, like, not plot holes, but like the same like traps that the sequels do. I feel like there's a lot of things that were either could have been avoided in the sequels that didn't live up to the original film, that this film I feel like could, just especially because it has new eyes on it. We have a whole new team of people working on this, young, ambitious directors and writers. I think that it's going to be one of the better sequels, honestly. I have high expectations, but I do think that there is a little bit of overhype on the internet for it right now. I would agree with you a little bit on that.
Yeah, no, it's tough, right? Because I'm with you. I don't think I'm expecting the greatest movie of all time. I know maybe sometimes I talk and maybe off camera stuff, I'm like, man, when I think about movies that I'm most anticipating, I know you guys cover, or you cover specifically, quite a lot of horror stuff too. I'm not, I've talked about it before, I'm not that big of a horror guy. Mainly kind of just Scream, and that's it. And that's kind of because I'm a big baby with that kind of stuff, but Scream obviously does a lot of different stuff when it comes to horror. And so when I think of that kind of avenue, I'm like, oh, that. Then if I think like action, it's like, oh, the Uncharted movie kind of gets me excited to see if it fails or not. So, I'm going in with pretty high expectations. I want a lot from this movie. And I agree with you. I think, and where I will also come in, I've said this before in past videos, I want it to feel new and original, but also obviously feel like a Scream movie, and that's tough because I feel like some, like you said, with people coming back to life, or just maybe cameos or flashbacks, stuff like that, you can get into a trap of repeating too much of the the past. And we know this movie is a love letter basically to Scream. It's a love letter to Wes Craven, and that's fine, and it can be that, and I want that, right? Because it's got to feel like that. But I also don't want an opening kill that's like exactly like Drew Barrymore, or the ending that's exactly, what I mean? Like, I don't want it to repeat, because if it repeated, I'll just go watch Scream again, what I mean? I don't need to wait, I was born in 96, so I don't want to wait, 25 years or whatever to watch a movie again. And like you said, you have a brand new cast, you have such potential, and you can honestly do some crazy things with characters. I mean, people will go down like the Dewey, angle. Like, you can make killers out of past people that have been in this movie. You could kill off very important characters. I mean, the potential here is enormous, and I think, and this will be, a question to you where you can jump in, I think that's kind of what gets people going, right? Is, like you said, the fact that Kirby could potentially, maybe she's a cameo here, or there was the rumors way early on about like Selena Gomez being the opening kill, or Dewey, whether he actually will be, killed off. That, I think, raises, when you start talking about that stuff, that raises people's, I think, hype and expectations, and maybe that's where people get into that.
Well, I think that's why so many people are so excited for a new Scream movie, because anything is possible. Like, we could go any different direction with a new, like, it's not of course, rest in peace Wes Craven, but the fact that we have new people coming in to this series where it's very open-ended. You could do just about anything. Bring back people if you want to have Kirby come back, if you want to say that like Randy's been alive this whole time, something crazy like that, you could do that. This would be your opportunity to do that. It's the first time in this franchise we've had brand new eyes come into play. That's what I'm the most excited about. But with that, it could also be a bad thing. But I have faith in Radio Silence. They've done very great job, like with all their other movies in the past. Pretty much, I'm a pretty big fan of like Southbound and Ready or Not, even some of the segments of the VHS movies. I think I'm expecting a pretty good continuation. I think it's gonna top some of the sequels, in my opinion, and especially just because of this whole this waiting period we're in right now of just like speculation of anything could happen in this movie. I'm almost gonna be sad when this period is over, because we're gonna get something eventually, that when this movie finally comes out, when this long wait is finally over, and I hope it lives up to our expectations, but I definitely think we're setting the bar a little high just because of how the possibilities are all over the place.
Yeah, no, those are really good points. Like this, I cover a lot of different movies, I cover a lot of different games, and sometimes, it can get a little boring, the waiting period, when they don't say anything about a movie or a game, there's no trailers, but in a way, like, it actually, like you said, it kind of is special, because we get to do stuff like this. We get to literally, we talk about all the crazy stuff that could happen in the movie. Really, it kind of dies down, or it will stop when that first trailer comes out in terms of wild speculation, because now you kind of have a benchmark. You have things that will be in the movie, or maybe they're red herrings, right? Maybe they do it like on purpose and it's not in the film. Like, this is a special time, and I think that can, like we've said, that can get people going. And then not to, and I'm not throwing us under the bus because we're not doing it. The people that are these are supposed insiders, when they throw out stuff, even like the guy we talked about a few days ago, where he says like this could reinvent this genre, like those are big words. Those are really that sets the bar high. And if you believe it, and I'm not saying like you're gullible or anything like that, if you believe it or not, again, you believe what I think. A lot of the stuff he said sounds right, and some of the stuff maybe sounds wrong, but when you hear stuff like that, and when you're like, oh, well, Courtney Cox tagged this person or tagged that person, the doors are open. So I'm expecting a lot. Maybe the more I'm talking about it, the more I actually am expecting even more. But I think it's just important to relax from time. I need to tell my own voice that sometimes. It's important to relax from time to time, and I really do think, just like Jake said, I think this movie will be really good. It may not be the greatest film of all time. That kind of happens with all these films that we put our expectations high. But Jake, anything that last you want to say about this movie?
Yeah, like that Reddit review you were just talking about, like I will say, like, I don't know if I believe that so much, because it was just all positive stuff. That was my big problem with it. It was like, you don't have a single concern about the movie, yeah. Really? Like I get being excited for a new Scream movie, but like there's gonna be something wrong with it. And as much as I hate to say that, I'm very excited for the film, but like it's not gonna be a perfect movie. I am excited to see it though. Huge Scream fan over here. It's so pumped for another continuation.
So guys, let us know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think well, first, I guess, let us know your expectations for this movie, and then also let us know if you think that people are getting a little wild with this stuff. Like I said, it's been honestly an amazing time having Jake on here, so make sure you check out his channel, his Twitter too. I'm gonna leave both of those in the description and the pinned comment. Hopefully we can do more of this stuff as the movie progresses and gets closer. Jake, thank you so much for being on this video.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
And obviously, guys, make sure you're subscribed here, bell icon, turn on, all that good stuff. I try to do at least one Scream video every single week, and so I hope to see you guys for the next video.